Hello everyone, welcome to the Leesburg Public Library Show. My name is Tom Wilcox. I'm an adult services librarian, and I'm here with my supervisor, Carol Anderson, the adult services supervisor. So we are going to be talking about our summer reading program, and even though we are still in the middle of spring, we are looking forward. So let's start. Anyway, Carol, tell us a little bit about the background of the summer reading program.
I'll be happy to. Thank you for having me here today to talk about this, Tom. This is a very exciting program that we have at the Leesburg Library. About 5 years ago, we decided that it wasn't fair for the kids to have all the fun with summer reading, that the adults should have an opportunity as well. Our book clubs tend to recess in the summer, so they don't have the book discussion groups. The snowbirds go north, and the people who are still here deserve to have something going on at the library just for them. So that's why we have the adult summer reading program going on.
Okay, terrific. So what is the main focus of this program, because it has an interesting title?
Well, this year our focus is groundbreaking reads. And what we're doing is looking for books that have an archaeological content to them, or programs that can be tied in somehow with archaeology. The young children's summer reading theme is dig into reading. For the teens, it's beneath the surface. But for the adults, we had suggested to us groundbreaking reads, so we went with the archaeological bent on that.
Okay, and so anyway, do these themes come up? Are they like pre-selected? Are they like national, or are they local?
There is a national group, the Collaborative Summer Library Program, and what they do is suggest the themes every year. In fact, they have themes planned for the next few years. And we look at those themes and we decide how we want to interpret it. There's artwork provided, there are promotional materials provided if we choose to use that. We don't have to go with their theme at all. Usually we do try to do that because of the benefits of the extra materials, the extra promotions, but we can put whatever slant we want on it that we think will work for our patrons.
Well, that's an interesting question, because I was just thinking about it. Can some of this material, is it sort of generic where you can put in our own logo and everything like that?
Absolutely. We always personalize it so that the people at the Leesburg Public Library know that our friends of the library are supporting it and that it is for patrons of our library. They actually have to come into the library to register, so someone in another part of the county has to come to our library if they want to participate. It's mainly for our own patrons.
Okay, and so anyway, how long will the program run?
It runs about 8 weeks. We're going to start, there's a big kickoff on Saturday, June 8th for all ages, for the children through the adults. And then officially we start on Monday, June 10th, and it runs through the end of July. So it runs about not quite 8 weeks.
Oh yeah, so you're missing the dog days of August.
Yes.
But, well, you know, I was going to ask, where is Lake County Library System in all of this? Are they participating as well?
Each library decides for themselves whether they want to participate. I went to a county level meeting a few weeks ago, and some of the libraries were really gearing up for it. And some of them are deciding that either they're too small or they're too short-staffed, or for some reason they're not going to participate this year. It's not a requirement by the county. It's left up to each individual library. But this is our 5th year, and we're certainly excited about it.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, now that everybody is mostly on board, you know, how is this going to be promoted?
We put information on our website. We put things in the newsletter. I did an article in our monthly newsletter for the library this past month so that people would see what kind of programming is coming up, what's going to be involved in that. We'll probably have a little slideshow on here on Lakefront TV because they help us to promote our programs. We'll put press releases out in all the newspapers. Everywhere we can, we let people know what's going on.
All right, that's terrific. And so, you know, which is the favorite medium, which to bring the word out, which do you think people are most likely to look at? Probably
our website. They come to our website to look at the catalog, to check out books. to put books on hold, to find out what the events are that are going on in the library. So I think probably the website is the favorite, and it is the most up to date because we can change that on a daily basis as things come along. If a date is changed, a speaker is changed, we can update it. So probably the website is the best, and that would be www.leesburgflorida.gov/library.
Okay, and let's see, are there going to be any non-library partners involved with this?
Not this year, unless someone seeing this steps up and wants to make a donation. Our friends of the library are tremendous supporters, and they provide the monies for the programs, for the prizes, and all of that. This year, they have pretty much taken the whole load. In the past, we have had businesses donate gift cards, donate prizes, help us out in that way. This year, no one has stepped up to do that so far, but we're forging ahead anyway, and we're always happy to accept donations. So if anyone wants to contribute, we'd be happy to have them.
Yeah, because now I was just wondering how, do you think any of this could be tied in with the Viva Florida, which is our 500th anniversary this year?
Absolutely, and we have tried to make our programming fit in with that, to make as many of the programs as possible have a historical connection, because we absolutely want to be included in the statewide initiative for Viva Florida.
And, okay. So anyway, can you tell us how someone would sign up for this?
Yes, absolutely. Starting in the beginning of June, they can stop by the library and pick up one of the registration packets. It has information about the programs. It has the rules. It has a little registration sheet, which is just basic information, so we can contact them if they win a prize. And it also has the review forms. It has the first set of review forms. Once they read a book or attend a program, they fill out a very basic review, rate the book 1 to 5, or the program 1 to 5. If they want to write more about it, they can. And then they put this in the box on the circulation desk, and we draw from those for the prizes. It's a very simple process.
Okay, and so, does signing up indicate any sort of a contest in any way?
Well, it does. It's not a matter of who reads the most books. What we do is they can read any print book, they can read an ebook, they can listen to a book on CD, they can listen to a book on the playaways, which are like MP3 players that have books on them. They can have a book in any of those formats, or they can attend a program and do a review on each one of those. The more they do, the more chances they have. At the end of the summer the end of the program on August 1st, we will draw out 8 of those reviews to get 8 unique winners. Now, if I draw the same person 8 times, they don't get 8 prizes. But as soon as I have 8 unique winners out of that, they will each get a prize. That means they'll each get one of these really nice bags, these groundbreaking reads on the front. And what we'll do is tuck a bunch of little prizes in there. There will be new books in there. There's a CD from the Florida State Library about Florida history in there, a little historical book about Florida in the Civil War, and lots of other goodies that I'm collecting to go in there. Because of the archaeological bent, there's going to be a new trowel in there, which our gardeners will appreciate. Just a lot of things that can be added to the prize bags. People have been thrilled with the prizes in the past, so I think they will continue to be. So 8 people will win. Our staff also participates, but they're not eligible for those prizes. They have their own unit. So we have a lot of people reading, including the staff this summer.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it gets very, very competitive in the library, folks. But anyway, okay, so, can you read or use any sort of medium in a book in any way?
Absolutely, and I expect a lot of them will be ebooks this year because our ebook collection is growing. More and more people are reading books that way. In fact, right now, until the 1st of June, of course, that wouldn't be eligible for the program. There's a free ebook that everyone is going to be trying to read, and the promotion for that is on our website. But there'll be a lot of those, but print books too. And they don't have to be library books. They can be their own books or other books that they've found somewhere else. So that as long as they read a book, put the title down and a little review on it, we're happy with that.
Okay, and but you know, we basically covered that you can read what you like, so I'm not going to ask that. But
Exactly.
now, you know, what has been the adult participation in the past now that we're 5 years along?
Well, it's been gradually increasing. I'd like to see even more. We end up with, last year we had between 40 and 50 people register. So they were the ones who were eligible for the prizes. We had over 300 people attending our programs. Not all of them registered, and I'm not sure why, because they were eligible too just for coming to a program. But we do get a lot of reviews. We've had almost 1,000 book and program reviews turned in. So you can tell that those people, those 50 people, are doing a lot of reading. But I hope this year we can get a lot more people reading and a lot more people participating.
Okay, and well, you know, now we can start going into the programming. Can you
Yes.
tell us some more about the programs we're going to
I
have?
would be delighted. I'm very excited about our programs this summer. As you mentioned with Viva Florida, we are using an historical theme. We're trying to focus on history, and local history is part of that. On Tuesday, June the 18th, we have author Doris Bloodsworth and her sister Connie Fleetwood, who wrote Legendary Locals of Lake County. They're going to bring their book. You can buy a copy. You can get the authors to sign it. They're going to talk about some of the different characters from Lake County's history. And one of them was actually an Indiana Jones type character, Edgar Banks. So I've asked them specifically to talk about Mr. Banks along with some of the other characters in the book. So I think that's a great kickoff for our programming for the summer. And then on Tuesday, June 25th, I'm really excited to say we're bringing an award-winning author back to Lake County. Mariana Evans has done, I think, a series of 7 archaeological mysteries, starting with artifacts. Her latest one is Plunder. She's coming to do a whole day for us. In the morning, her program is My Novel Day by Day, where she tells people actually how to write a book, or at least how she writes a book, and her suggestions on how to get a book done. And then in the afternoon, she'll talk about her whole series of books. Now, her heroine in her books is Fay Longchamps.
Yeah.
Fay Longchamps, and there may be a French pronunciation for that, but I'm not even going to go there. Fay is an archaeologist, and as such, she gets some really fascinating assignments, and there's always a murder somewhere in the book. So these archaeological mysteries are wonderful, and it ties right in. She's written books based in Florida, in Mississippi. She did one about New Orleans after Katrina, a murder that she solved in New Orleans after Katrina, but she always goes into the history, and they're very well researched.
Oh, yeah.
So we're excited to have Mariana Evans coming. That's on June 25th. Then on July 6th, we have to have the October Mountain Wash Tub Band come back. They're so popular. They always fill the room. You have to come early to get a seat if you're going to come and hear them. They're going to be there on July the 6th, and we're happy to have them. On Tuesday, July 16th is another local history program. People may or may not know about the Moat Morris House, which is a historical landmark in Leesburg. And that house was actually purchased and moved in 1990 to its current location. It used to sit on Main Street. We're going to have the head of the Leesburg Heritage Society, the president, Glorianne Foz, come in and talk to us about the history of the house. They still give tours there at least once a month, so people can actually go and visit the house once they've learned more about it. Also, in 1990, when the house was moved, there was a gifted social studies class that was invited to do an archaeological dig there. And they came, and the teacher who was in charge of that class, Karen West, is going to come and share with us about that experience. And Glorianne's going to bring some of the artifacts that they dug up that are now at the museum, and some are in the house, so that everyone can see more information about the Moat Morris House. It's a beautiful house. It now sits on Magnolia. If people haven't been there after this program, they're definitely going to want to go.
Oh yeah, it's a splendid example of architecture from its period, and it's definitely well worth visiting.
So I'm really excited to have that program included. And then we're going to finish up, the children's programs are by themes, and their last week is Heroes Week. During Heroes Week, they're going to have the Big Red Bus so people can donate blood. They'll have firefighters, police fighters. We're having a musician come that week. His name is Tom Lavania. He's been at our library before. He's very well liked and has a strong following locally. So Tom is going to come and perform on July 23rd, and that will be our last official program.
Okay.
I'm going to share a little secret that isn't on our Groundbreaking Reads program page, but everyone who's registered for the Adult Summer Reading Program this year is going to get an invitation to come in for a book discussion group. They can come, our book club leader, Linda Zink, who facilitates our book clubs, is going to help them have a discussion of some of the things that they read this summer. The people who are in our Leesburg Library Literary Group really miss meeting in the summers, and they've asked that there be some opportunity in the summer that they can get together and talk about what they're reading. So anyone who's registered for this program will get a special invitation to come in, meet with Linda, and have a book discussion. So I think that will be an exciting program as well, but that's invitation only, so they have to register.
Oh yeah, okay, that's important, everybody. Everybody register. And now, you could say that the feedback has probably been very good over the last couple of years, so do you totally expect that to continue?
Well, I certainly hope so. We try to look at whatever responses we get and base our plans for the next year on that. Most everyone seems to love the program. They don't mind that we're not saying you have to read this book, and this book. They have the freedom of reading whatever they like. I know some libraries narrow it down. You have to read a history book and a science book and a, I don't know, Christian fiction or whatever. You have to read in all these different genres. We don't try to limit them in that respect, and I think people appreciate that. And we've gotten great responses to the prizes. The year that we had novel destinations as our theme, and we gave a lot of travel materials, one of the winners said they went on a trip to Europe right after the summer reading was over, and she took her prize bag with her and used everything in it on the trip. So I was really glad to hear that. So we do get a lot of positive response.
Okay, that's very gratifying. So anyway, or do you have any final thoughts on the overall program, anything, and also any other programs we're doing that, you want people to know about? This would be a good time to talk about it.
A lot of people don't realize how much planning goes into something like this summer reading program. We start at the end of one summer looking at the reviews, thinking about what we might want to do differently the next year. And then probably by January, we start ordering prizes, figuring out what kind of programs, contacting people for the programs that are coming up, because we really want to get good programming in that will draw the people in so that they can enjoy the programs and also read and be part of that. So it does take a lot of planning, a lot of preparation, and we hope that people will participate and benefit from that.
Yeah.
We do have an exciting plan coming up for this fall, which goes along with the Viva Florida, which if we have time, I'd like to mention.
We have plenty of time.
On Saturday, November 16th, we have a very special program. Many people are familiar with Patrick Smith's book, A Land Remembered. In fact, some people say it should be required reading for anyone who moves to Florida, and I tend to agree with that. Well, Patrick is no longer touring, but his son, Rick Smith, was actually in Florida last year and did a multimedia presentation about A Land Remembered, about Florida and about his father's book. Tremendous reviews, huge crowds wherever he went. And so this year we are making arrangements. He is confirmed, he will be at the Leesburg Library on Saturday, November 16th, so mark your calendars. The program will be at 10:30 in the morning, and come early and get a seat because we're not doing tickets. It's just going to be the first people who can get there, and we are limited. The fire code only lets so many people in the room. But we're really excited about having the Land Remembered program coming to our library, and we hope that a lot of people will come and take advantage of that.
Oh yeah, and I have to put in an aside about this because I just started reading this book because I actually got interested in because of our preparations and everything, and I actually have generations of people who lived in Florida at the time this book was written. It basically covers from the late 1850s to the late 1960s, and it's the history of one family. And in fact, actually, they mentioned something I could identify specifically because the lead character, Tobias McIvy, he actually gets drafted to herd cattle in the Civil War to provide to the Army. And my great-grandfather was a member of the Special Cow Cavalry, and it described exactly the kind of thing he did, which I thought was very exciting. And I mean, this is a really great book, everyone. You really have to read it, and please come to the program. You will not regret it.
Yes, it's won all kinds of awards. It's really, truly a classic and very well researched, so I'd recommend it. There's also a children's version of that, so
Yeah.
if you would like for your children or grandchildren to become familiar with it, I think that you would want to check into that. One other program that's coming up, we do have a local author showcase in October. I think it's the first Saturday. I'm sorry, I don't have the date on the top of my head.
Yeah, look
But-
at the website.
yeah, but this year we're focusing on children's literature as the genre, and the authors will have books from preschool all the way up through young adult, but we're not going to have adult books at that one. We're going to have only the children's genre. So if you're a local author who writes children's books, watch for the call to authors that should come out about July 1st. And if you're interested in meeting those authors, be sure and come to the library for the local author showcase. We will be promoting that strongly between now and then.
Okay, that's terrific. Well, that's it for us. You know, I want to thank Carol for being here and
Thank you.
telling us about all of these exciting summer and thereafter programs. And if you want to know more information, please call the Leesburg Public Library at 352-728-9790, or look up on our website, which we told you what the web address is. And, you know, I think you'll really have a great time at any of these programs. So thank you for joining us.